Hello, hello. I hope y'all are ready to start your landscape. So, I want you to have a paper and pencil or a whiteboard and expo to practice first, okay? So watch it once, practice, and then start it over and begin your final. That way you get it down and you're happy with the quality of your work, okay? So, let's start our landscape. We're going to be using this picture of a painting as inspiration. So follow along with me. Now, I'm going to go ahead and create my foreground. Okay? And I might have to do some erasing, so I'm using my pencil very lightly, alright? And then I'm going to go over all this with a black so y'all can see it a little bit better in just a second, okay? But I want to make sure I sketch everything out the way I want it to look. That way, if I mess up, I can do what? Erase. That's why we use pencils. I'm gonna do my river now. You start very close and you widen it out to create that illusion of space, okay? So I'm coming and I'm widening it out as I go. Okay, so I have my river now. All right, let's add in our little bushes here, and I'm just gonna be doing kind of like a wavy line, right? Remember, we are in between realistic and abstract. So we're looking for like not too much detail, but a little bit of detail. So you can make things just kind of out of shapes and lines to represent objects, okay? Now, let's add our trees. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go past the foreground line that I created. And then I'm going to do a wavy line, bring it to a point, and then connect it down to the trunk of the tree, or to the tree. All right, and to create more space, I'm going to do another one, but I'm gonna have it go behind this tree. It's coming out. So now I have this illusion of space even with my trees, showing that space because one is behind another. I'm going to do one more. It's going to go up and again creating that space. Alright, so now I'm going to add my trees on this side, and I want these to be a little bit closer, so I'm doing them further down. And waving, bringing it to a point, and bringing it down. This one's going to be behind it, bringing it to a point, bringing it down. And then one here. And I'm just kind of creating my own trees. I'm not really following along with the picture, but I'm using this painting as inspiration, right? So I'm just doing a few trees here. Okay, so now I'm going to work on my background. I have a hill here, and it comes down, and another hill here. And now I can have my mountain, creating those peaks, bringing it to a point, bringing it to a point, our point, and then taking it off the page. Okay? I'm gonna go over that with my oil pastel so you can see it. My river. Trees. They kind of look like raindrops in a way, right? Wiggly, wavy raindrops. And there's our points of the trees. Our little bushes that go along the water. Our foreground line to create that space. Remember, I have this with pencil because I was just sketching it out, but now my trees are in front of it, so I don't want to show that line in my trees now. Okay? Add our hills. And then lastly, I'm gonna get that, our mountain. Okay, so now we need to add our color. Are y'all ready? I'm going to start with the river, and what I want to do, I'm going to try to find some blues and a white. And I'm going to follow my outline I already have, because that's the way the river's moving, right? And I'm going to create these lines, and see how I'm leaving white space? It's because I'm going to take my second blue and also fill in those lines and the spaces that I left. Okay? And then lastly, what I want to do is go over it and fill it in. And you can do this with your crayons if you have crayons at home. Crayons are great for kind of blending together. Markers do the same thing. Color pencils are amazing for blending together. Just find some different tints and shades of blue, and then I'm using the white to help mix it together and blend it together. Okay? So that's how I'm doing that. Alright, so I have my river. Now, let's work on my trees. I really like how they used warm colors for the trees in here, so I need to find my warm colors. I need red, orange, and some yellow. Alright, start at the top with the red. I'm going to stop, and I'm just going to do each one and go ahead and fill it in with that red. I can go ahead and do my bushes too, because they are about the same color as our trees. Okay? Now I'm going to take my orange. Take it about halfway down the tree, because then I need to finish off with my yellow. Alright, now let's add in our yellow. And what I'm going to do with my yellow is I'm just going to go over any white spaces that I have left in there. Okay. Remember, y'all can pause anytime you need to, and you can also color it any way you want. You do not have to follow along with how I color my landscape, okay? It's up to y'all. Y'all are the artists at home. I'm just here to guide y'all and give you some inspiration. All right, and for my tree trunks, I'm going to use white, and I'm going to bring it down, because in our picture, they're actually white trunks. And then I'm going to add a little bit of brown to it. Just a tiny little marks here and there. Tiny little marks. Just barely. Okay. So now we can work on our mountains. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with my river. I'm going to start with my lighter blue. I'm going to do a little bit, and I'm just coloring in the top of them. And see how I'm not having it even, I'm having them kind of go down at an angle, because I want to kind of create the shadows that the mountains are creating on each other, right? And then I'm going to take my white, I'm going to go over that blue. So you can get your color pencil and go over the blue with a white color pencil. Go over your blue with a white crayon and help blend that in. Okay, lastly, I'm going to take my darker blue and finish out my mountains. I might come in with a little bit of black, but I haven't decided yet if I want to do that. So I'm going to take a look at it when I get it all blue. Because you can never go back, right? So make sure you look at it first and then decide if you want to add anything else to it. I'm going to take that white again and kind of go through here and help blend in our new blue into all of it. Okay, so I think I might add a little bit of black in here. So let me find my black. And I'm going to do it just a tiny, tiny bit. Very, very lightly, adding it in. Kind of trying to create some shadows. And then I'm going to go over it a little bit with the blue. Kind of help blend it in. Okay? So there's that. Looking good. I hope you guys are having fun. Art is all about fun, y'all. You could have pink mountains. That would be really cool. If you're going to do pink mountains, I would start maybe with light pink here and then have my red here, have my trees a different color. Now, let's do our grounds and our hills and then we'll be finished. Oh, we got to do the sky too. So I'm going to get two different greens. I got a dark and a light green. And I'm also going to keep my white here just in case if I need it. And I'm going to start down here with some dark green. I'm definitely putting dark green underneath the trees because the trees create shadows, so I want it to be a little bit darker around the trees to make it kind of realistic. But remember, we're in between realistic, not realistic, a little bit abstract. And I'm just doing a little bit of my darker green. Alright, but now I'm going to do my light green. I'm going to finish out coloring my ground. I cannot wait to see how y'all's are going to turn out. If you changed the colors, if you added more detail, because y'all are so creative. Y'all come up with some really cool things and it makes me so happy to see. Alright, we're almost done with our ground. And once I get done coloring, I'm going to go back over my black outline to make it stand out a little bit. and anywhere it kind of got covered a little bit, I can fix that. Almost finished. I'm gonna put a little bit of dark here. There we go. Okay, now we just need to do our sky. And I think I want my sky, I kind of want to make it like a light pink. So I'm gonna grab my pink, I'm gonna color it lightly pink, and then I'm gonna go over my pink with white. I think that'd be kind of cool. And in the picture, it's kind of a gray sky, but y'all know I like color, so. Okay, so I'm lightly doing some pink, just gently putting it on there. See, just gently placing some pink on there. And then I'm gonna go over it with my white. And then I'll be all set with my sky. And I always lay down, if you're using any materials, if you turn it to its side, it's a lot easier and covers more ground. If you have it straight, if you're using your marker like this, it'll take you forever to color. But if you tilt it just a little bit, it makes it go faster. All right, and lastly, for some craftsmanship, let's go over our black lines to make them stand out. Just doing a little touch up. All right, we just got our mountains left to touch up. And voila, our landscape is done. Beautimus, beautimus, beautimus. All right, y'all, I hope you had fun creating your landscape. I cannot wait to see the creativity that each one of you are going to show in your work. And I hope you had fun. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye, y'all.